This presentation discusses two models, the Dick and Carey model and the Morrison, Ross, and Kemp model. I'll start with a brief history of the model and then outline the steps included in each, along with strengths and limitations. I'll conclude by sharing contexts in which each model would be effective. The website, instructionaldesign.org, lists over 20 different instructional design models. While that may seem like a large number, they represent the multiple ways in which people visualize the learning process. Because of the variety, comparing one model to another can be like comparing apples to oranges. They have their similarities and their differences. Working chronologically, we'll start with the Dick and Carey model. Formerly known as the Dick and Carey Systems Approach Model, it first appeared in 1978 in the book, The Systematic Design of Instruction. Dick and Carey saw instruction as an entire system focusing on the interrelationship between context, contents, learning, and instruction. The process, iterative in nature, consists of 9 steps. First, instructional goals are established and then analyzed to determine the steps and skills needed for learning. Next, the knowledge, skills, and dispositions of the learner are identified, along with the type of environment in which the learning will take place. With this knowledge, objectives based on the desired behavior, conditions, and criteria are written. Assessments aligned with the goals and objectives are then developed. Instructional strategies are developed next, along with the formative assessments to help collect data needed to inform how instruction may need to be adjusted or improved upon. Finally, data gathered from the formative assessments are analyzed, and instruction is adjusted accordingly. The Dick and Carey model is considered by experts to be rigid, preferred by those who want a concrete process to follow. Because of this, the model is great for new instructional designers or for an instructional designer who needs to support a client or subject matter expert new to the process. The model is also appropriate when there are several different subskills which the learner needs to be able to master in order to meet the intended goals and objectives. It also lends well when developing a whole course or curriculum. The Morrison, Ross, and Kemp model, or better known as the Kemp model, was first introduced in 1994. Morrison, Ross, and Kemp identify 4 fundamental components the model is built upon: the learner, objectives, methods, and evaluation. The model is circular in design to reflect the developer's belief that the process should be continuous and involve constant planning, design, development, and assessment. Like the Dick and Carey model, the Kemp model also has 9 components, beginning with the identification of instructional problems through needs assessment or an analysis of goals to help identify instructional problems or goals. The next component involves the process of identifying the characteristics of the learner. Does the design take into consideration equitable learning experience? The task analysis helps to identify objectives to address the instructional problem or goals. Instructional objectives, indicating what a learner should know and be able to do at the end of a unit, are addressed next. An instructional designer would then determine the sequence in which the learning should be presented. Designing the message involves determining an effective means for communicating instruction, leading to the development of the instructional strategies along with the instruments designed to assess whether the goals and objectives have been met. The Kemp model is best known for its flexibility. While someone who wants to follow a process can start at the top of the circle, others may want to use a couple of components in the model. This model is also great when a larger team of people are working on a project, as different groups can be assigned to different components. It should be noted that both are based off the ADDIE model, with the implementation and evaluation stages of ADDIE in the outer circles of the Kemp model. And then in the Dick and Carey model, the implementation process at ADDIE can be seen from the development of testing items on. Both models essentially have 9 steps and are relatively easy to implement, if used for the intended purpose. Additionally, analysis in both models through a needs assessment identifies instructional problems, goals, learners' characteristics, content, and context of instructions. While similarities exist in their roots to the ADDIE framework, both models have their differences. Whereas the Dick and Carey model is more systems-oriented, the Kemp model is classroom-oriented. Also, the Dick and Carey model is suited for the creation of an entire course or curriculum, while the Kemp model is better suited to develop a shorter workshop or perhaps a professional learning session, or to improve a specific component of a course. Further, the Dick and Carey model requires a greater amount of front-end analysis, as depicted in the image before, whereas front-end analysis on the Kemp model is minimal. While a novice instructional designer may apply a specific model as their go-to, especially as they gain experience in the process, a veteran instructional designer has a whole toolbox of models to draw from and may use components of different models in their process. What tools they choose to use often comes down to the role of the designer, the needs of the learner and instructor, and the environment in which the instruction is to be delivered.